Hi, welcome back to I Confess with Travis. I'm your host, Travis Bartlett. This is episode 5, and today I'm going to talk to someone who is going to talk about what goes on around the whole world, like, stuff like this. And this is something that we're all going to have to, maybe agree about, because, there's just some things out there that a lot of people don't understand. That's probably going to end up getting, a lot of people's attention with certain things. So I'm going to stop talking and I'm going to go ahead and talk to this guy right now. So how you doing today?
Pretty good.
Doing good. Okay, so I hear you got a story for us you want to tell.
Yeah, well, it's not really a story. It's more about the economics of today, the people forcing things on people, and just the way people pick up stuff and learn things that they might not have want to learn.
Right.
They want to learn by themselves. I'm not homophobic, transphobic, or by no means whatever.
Right.
There's a lot of them today. Just people posting stuff on YouTube and stuff, and TikTok and whatever else you can watch videos on about gays and homophobes and trans and the different genders there are. I believe are there too, but I support people that are one of the LGBTQ members, but just keep it to yourself.
Right. See, I'm the same way. See, even though I'm straight, I still support the LGBTQ.
Yep.
Because, I was recently just talking to this one person in one of my last episodes. He was talking about how he was bi, but he said that his girlfriend decided to make him wear female clothes, like feminine clothes, and he was just, decide just to go with it,
Yeah.
And now he's, considered a cross-dresser.
Yeah, I just don't believe, you should be posting about why you should be this, why you should be that.
Right.
Just let people learn it themselves.
Exactly.
Little kids don't need to learn about this stuff.
No, they don't.
And just, it's just crazy, because, I see so many little, 10th graders and 11th graders, and, I mean, those ones aren't bad. It's just, the first, 5th, 6th graders that think they want to be emo, gay,
right, and it's so weird. I'm not trying to make this up, because I know a lot of people might be hearing this and think this is kind of stupid, but just listen. It's let's say when we were teenagers. Well, I know you're probably a teenager, but see, when I was a teenager, I didn't know anything about sex until I was 13 or 14. And now they're getting to where, there could be kids that could be, maybe 5, 6, or even 7 or 8 years old, and they can know what sex is.
They could be having it.
Yes.
It's crazy, but...
And then, yeah.
10 years ago and today are two different things. 10 years ago, you could go outside.
Right, and then not worry about a thing.
Yeah, you could go knock on your neighbor's door, ask them to go play.
Right.
And you would be having a good day, and then... Now you go knock on your neighbor's door. Next, 2 days ago, they were just straight. Now they're gay because they just saw a video about gay people and they wanted to be gay.
Right. I mean, I just think I'm not saying it's a choice, but it's their decision. And there's people around the world that don't even want to support that. They'll be let's say if I came out gay, and then people be like, oh, you're gay, we don't support them, and da-da-da-da, I just think that people need to understand, if you've made this child, then you should support them no matter what. Whatever their crazy conditions in, they should still support it no matter what.
I mean, I get, second-guessing yourself.
Right.
Never second-guess yourself.
No.
It's a choice you want to make.
Right.
You stay that choice.
Yeah.
Do what you want to do in life. Just force it on other people. That's my way of seeing it. And I saw this video on TikTok the other day. It was this little kid, his older brother killed himself. He was knocking on his neighbor's door, and it was my brother shot himself. Bullies were making fun of him.
Yeah.
And I was Dang, that's sad.
I've
You
heard
can
stories
never,
about that too. They
you
always,
should never judge a book by its cover. Like,
right.
just because someone is gay doesn't mean they're gonna.
Yeah, you just say like, oh, you're gay, you know, like.
You can come near me, just don't force it on me.
Right. Like, I've had some people come up to me, not everybody, but I've had some people come up to me and they think like, are you gay? And I'll be like, no. I'll be like, no, I'm straight. And I remember I used to work with someone who was a lesbian, but see, I didn't want to make it a big deal about it. So I just kind of let it go like she was just a normal person. And she asked me one time if I was gay. I said, no. I said, I got to have my women. And she said, well, I got to have my women too. And I was like, okay. And when she asked me if I was gay, I said no. And she said, well, my gay radar must be off or something. And I'm like, no, I'm really straight.
Yeah. And another topic I want to get into is just people's feelings and people like there's these videos like also saying the earth isn't round, it's not square, it's not flat, it's fucked.
I just think it's just kind of confusing when they say things like that. Like, I'm not trying to make it sound stupid, but it's like when you say, let's say the earth is round or it's flat, like, I don't know what to believe, you know?
Yeah.
That just gets so confusing.
We all know earth is round.
Right.
Like, they're trying to make a point like I don't know, it's called metaphor, simile, or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's basically saying what our country's getting into right now, like the gender wars and women don't need men and all this. I think there should be world peace. Like it's not that easy. Just me telling everybody there should be world peace doesn't mean it's going to be world peace. There's still going to be people disagree.
Right. It's like when someone says like if a tomato's a fruit or vegetable, and then that's what gets really confusing because it's like we don't know if it's the truth or not.
Yeah. There's just, I believe those videos that are saying, like I said, the earth isn't round, it's not flat, it's fucked. I agree with them personally because
I do too,
not everybody's going to think of the same thing. Not everybody's going to agree with the same thing. Not everybody's going to like the choices that they make, but like is life. You got to deal with it. Like,
you can't just fight it. Just go with the flow,
You can't say no to that. Like, it's not
exactly
here for you. You got to find your way to completely ignore it or something.
Yeah, that's what I do. Like with me, like when I used to work at like these stores and stuff, like with customers, like I don't mind working with customers, but like I used to like have some customers that would just come up to me and they would just want to just yell for no reason, and I just learned just to ignore it.
Yeah.
Like this isn't like no sticks and stones may break my bones shit. This is more like I don't give a fuck what you say. So it's like if you're gonna cuss me out, then like I'm not going to fight you. I'm just going to ignore it and just let you go on your way, and that's it. Just move on to the next customer.
Yep. And, like, there's people putting up protests and stuff for, like...
Yeah, that's another thing I hate.
Yeah, it's just, like...
Because, like, once they start doing protests... It's like once they start doing protests, it will also lead to, like, riots and stuff. So it's like... They gotta watch out, because like I don't know if you heard about this years ago, but this was way before we were in the whole COVID situation. They were talking about this guy that it was a black guy. What's his name? Back in 2019, something Floyd.
George Floyd.
Yeah, that's him. And apparently everybody was starting a protest, and it became a riot, and they were just destroying the entire town. And I'm thinking, like, what's the point?
I get it. You guys want to fight for his rights.
Like they're trying to beat the system.
I get the cops were wrong for
I
that.
Get that.
Like, you don't destroy something that's it's not yours.
Exactly. They're all going to go to jail no matter what. And that really just made me mad because like I posted on Facebook. I said, is destroying your town really going to make things better? And a lot of people were commenting and just saying, well, people will never grow up. People won't ever listen. And I get that. But it's just like what they're trying to do. They're trying to beat the system because, like, let's say, like, if someone did something that wasn't, let's just say that was wrong, but then let's just say they got arrested for something stupid, it's like people are going to fight about it.
Yeah. And there's so many things on TikTok about stuff like that, but
Yes.
there's this one thing that just hits me, like when I was younger, and my mom used to get me something from the store or something, like a surprise.
Mm-hmm.
We were not rich, so we was always going to the store and getting stuff that, like, surprise, like a candy or something. I'm
right.
Like, oh wow, and I break it by accident, I'll feel bad for her. Like, just not be, like, it's my self-guilt.
I'm kind of the same way a little bit. Like, you know, like, when someone, let's say, yells at you and you think, like, you did something wrong, you get in one of your, like, sad moods, you're like, oh, like, did I do something, or did I say something hurtful, and then you just realize it's just not, you know, sometimes it might be your fault, sometimes it's just other people that blame you for something, you know, like, sometimes I won't let that get to me, but it just depends on what I did, so...
Like, getting back to what I was saying about, like, forcing things on people.
Right.
Like, here's my point on looking at it. So, you all know, like, that vegan teacher?
Yes.
Yeah, she's vegan. So, I was thinking, why force it on other people? She's duetting and copying and doing stuff to people, videos about, like, cooking and stuff, like,
right.
Chef. Like, that's someone's job. And canceling somebody because they eat meat it's the way of life. We
right. I mean, you don't have to have meat. I mean,
air and
right.
Like hunting. I do hunting every year. Turkey hunting, deer hunting. I do all that. Fishing. Don't judge people because of what they do. Judge
right.
yourself on what you do.
Just, like, let it go. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
And because, like, I don't know if you saw this on TikTok, but there is a black man who's dressing up like a baby. I don't know if you've seen that.
Yep, I've seen it. Like, there's...
I was listening to it for, like, maybe, like, 10 minutes, and there was, like, almost, like, 10 people arguing. Kind of like... It was basically kind of like the Jerry Springer show, and they were just, like, getting all mad, saying, well, how would you feel if your son, you know, was, like, in his 30s, dressing up as a baby? And, I mean, people were encouraging him. People were fighting about it. They were...
My way of looking at that is, you're 30. Just grow up.
I mean, I get that, but it's just, I just think, you know, if it's his channel, I think he should just post whatever he wants. I just think... I'm not trying to make it...
I disagree with you there.
I'm not trying to be mean, but I just think, you know, he should be, you know, a little bit more older and a little bit, do, like, more mature adult things, you know?
Maybe if he was doing it for funny, like, for giggles and...
Yeah.
But no, I think he's being completely serious about it, so I think maybe he should, like, he's encouraging little kids to do the same thing, and it's not
right.
cool.
Because, like I said, I wasn't trying to be mean about it. I just think, you know, he's like a grown man, maybe in his 20s or 30s, and everybody was fighting about it all over TikTok. And I'm thinking, like, I mean, I know it's wrong for, let's say, a man in their 30s to be dressing up as a baby, wearing diapers, bibs, and all this stuff. I mean, I get that. But...
Oh, why waste the money on materials?
Exactly. Exactly.
Maybe do something a little bit more mature that don't cost money, and then do that.
Right.
But, like, things that people are doing for money nowadays, it's just crazy. Like,
yeah.
You're gonna go fire from something stupid to make money on it.
Right.
It's just not cool. You're just showing little kids something to do that isn't good. It's just stupid.
Right.
Like, I don't. You see, I'm a American kid, just
like everybody else.
For things I like to watch, not go on TikTok and
embarrass yourself, you know.
Grown man dress up as a baby ruin my day.
Right.
It's not funny.
I mean, he's gained a lot of followers. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah, I'll look up his.
I forgot his thing. I know it starts with a C, but I can't think of what it is. But when I found his Instagram, it was all pictures of him dressing up as a baby. But there was one picture of him where he was dressed up in actual clothes, like adult clothes, basically, like a shirt and shorts and wearing like, and then they're like, well, and I'm not trying to make it sound like.
There's people in his comments saying for attention.
That's what they're making it sound like. It's just for attention. They don't seem to understand, like, you know, I
And then
mean,
there's people like other people sending him gifts and stuff on TikToks, like encouraging him to do this. I'm like, no.
right.
Have you seen the stuff like other stuff like David Goggins and Andrew Tate and
I don't think I have. I mean, I've been on TikTok so much, I can't remember who anybody is.
David Goggins, he is African American male, African American male. He was a U.S. soldier, and he's like, you don't know me, son, doing like speeches, motivational stuff. And that's the kind of stuff I like to watch on TikTok, like motivation, like Andrew Tate. Have you seen him or?
I think I have seen him, but I don't remember what his TikTok videos are. I can't remember.
Men don't get treated as well as females, and how, I mean, I agree with that, but not to the fullest extent, but like,
right.
Also, and females fighting for their right for same pay. Females have the same job but getting paid less. I'm like, no,
right.
You're getting paid same amount as men. Quit complaining.
Right.
You don't know their paychecks. So
no.
Like, females, listen, don't get me wrong. There's females that can do a man's job better than a man, but most of the time it's a man doing a man's job better than a female.
Right.
And I just hate how women think they can live without men in the world.
Right.
And they're like saying how doctors can give them some surgery to get them pregnant without men's semen. I'm like,
right.
I'm like, no.
Women can find out all kinds of things.
Surgeons are men.
Well, see, most women, they'll find out all kinds of ways to do things, you know, that us men can't even do, you know, like, and it's like with us men, like, we'll try to figure out what goes on. I mean, other than doing like hair, nails, and makeup, they'll find all kinds of ways when it comes to, let's say, like making babies, you know?
Yeah. But most of it's not even possible without men.
Right. That is true.
Guess who found out that surgery that you can get pregnant without a man? Men.
Yeah.
Guess who is basically controlling the oil and gas economy?
Right.
Men. Coal. Men. My brother's a coal miner. He has no females that work with him. If there wasn't for men, most of the PA wouldn't have coal, wouldn't have a coal industry, wouldn't have a oil field industry. My stepdad and my brother's best friend are in the oil field industries. Like, they don't know a single woman in their industry. So I'm like, dude, you come on, you guys got to think of a better way of why you can't live without men, because apparently.
And it's so weird, like, women are always saying, well, I can do things more, you know, without a man, but then every time, let's say, if a man helps them, they want to, you know, act like they need help, you know?
All right, listen, go on TV, vote for NFL. That's like a main entertainment.
Right.
Soccer, main entertainment.
Oh, everything.
Main entertainment.
Everything is main entertainment, yeah.
Dominant. You won't live without a man in your life. Well,
right.
I mean, you can live without a man in your life, but you cannot live female-dominated.
Right.
And there's no hate against women, because...
Oh, I know.
I mean, we all love women, but, yeah, that's what I think.
It is kind of crazy, because I feel like we live in a world that doesn't make sense half the time, or you know, doesn't at all sometimes. But it's just, you know, we just have to learn, you know, as we go, you know? And we just have to deal with what goes on around the world and what we have to deal with. Like, I don't know if you heard this story. I don't know if you know who BB Rexa is. She was the one that was singing "I'm Blue."
I'm blue.
Yeah, I'm blue and no. I'm good. It's like I'm good and yeah, I'm feeling all right. Yeah. Well, I don't know if you heard the story, but it ended up all over TikTok. Apparently, a guy threw his phone at BB Rexa, thought that she was gonna catch it, but it basically went and hit her in the eye, and it looked like that she got punched in the face. I mean, there are pictures. Like, she's got a black eye and a scar where her eyebrow is.
Oh.
And now that he's also arrested for abuse.
What?
Yep, because apparently he didn't like her. He said he did it like for a social media trend. They said people were throwing phones at celebrities so that celebrities can catch them.
And record on their phone for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. But instead of her catching it...
I think people take jokes
and
things way out of context.
Mm-hmm.
They take stupid stuff out of context.
But instead of her actually catching it, it just caught her by surprise. I mean, there are, like, if you look on TikTok or Instagram right now, you'll see pictures about how she looks like she was abused by, let's say, like, someone who literally punched her in the face. You get to see how bad her face looks. And the guy was arrested. Last time I heard on the news, they say he worked at, like, some animal rescue place, I think. And then they say he got fired for abusing a celebrity.
Yeah, that definitely does look like she got punched in the face. But
it does.
Honestly, that looked intentional.
Yeah, but she did post on TikTok saying that she was all right, but she showed the crowd that she had a black eye, though.
She was saying that song that said, "I'm good."
Yeah. She was like, "I'm good and I'm feeling all right," and that was about it.
Yep.
I felt so bad for her. I was like, I hope she gets better. But she said that she just didn't want the show to end that well, so she just said, just go ahead and end the show like that and just go straight to the hospital.
Yep, I get that. But, I think we covered a lot of topics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, thank you so much for actually being on my podcast.
Yep. Thank you for letting me be on your podcast.
No problem. Bye. Peace. All right, that was a very interesting topic because, like, there's a lot of things that go on around the world and some people just don't expect it. Like, I understand that things that we do around the world, that we actually hear or do, and then some things that we're just not allowed to hear or even do or even see, like certain things we're not supposed to do like that. This was a very interesting topic. I think, we're living in a world of society where, we live in a world where people just don't care. Like, I get that. Like, we were talking about how, like, you got certain people that don't support the LGBTQ. You got certain people that, want to be racist. People who, want to start a fight over something stupid. I mean, it's part of life, but we just don't realize and what to expect. It's like sometimes things happen. Sometimes, you just don't expect things to happen. And, and sometimes you just got to go with the flow, and just got to say, there's nothing we can do and just got to go with it and just, that's about it, But other than that, I'm going to go ahead and take a quick break, and we will be right back, and I will be talking to my next caller. Okay, welcome back to my podcast. I'm going to be taking my second call. I'm going to be talking to a guy where he's going to be telling me his story about how he was in the military and how his car got impounded by somebody taking it out for a joyride. So, let's go ahead and hear his story. Alright, so how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Alright, so you got a story you want to tell us?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I'm actually 62 years old, first of all. And I was in the Navy. I served in the Navy.
Mm-hmm.
Aboard a ship. And what's really interesting is, you live with these people for, months or years.
Mm-hmm.
And you know them pretty well. So they become pretty good friends. Now, in a Norfolk Naval Station, there's you can have your car there, at least at the time. You could have your car there back in the 70s and 80s. You could park a car. I don't know if that's still the same. But I had a permit and I had a car, and I just happened to be on restriction. Restriction is when you are on a ship and you can't leave because you have either gotten in trouble for something or, this or that.
It's just, just whatever it is, right.
Yeah, whatever it is. It could be minor. It was minor, but anyway, I lost something that belonged to I would turn the clock, wind all the clocks at the time. There was a job where you had to go out and manually wind clocks. That's how ancient this story is. But anyway, I lost the key, and that's not good.
Right.
It's a special key. But anyway, one of my, I had many friends and people that I knew, and it was just like, friends are like your family. You live aboard the ship.
Right.
So, and there was one particular friend, and I had known him for quite some time. And I couldn't get off the ship, and if I didn't move my vehicle within a certain time period, I would get a ticket.
Right.
So I said, hey, would you mind moving my car for me because I cannot get off the ship? He said, oh, no problem. I'll move it to a different spot, and then you can restart your, calculation of time. And so I gave him my keys, and I went on about my business, and I looked for him the next day, and I couldn't find him. And I asked one of the personnel people, I think it was called a PN at the time. They do the personnel work, and they said, oh, he's gone. I said, well, where did he go? They said he went on leave. I said, oh, okay. I wonder if he left his keys. So I went to his area of bunking, and I asked people if they had seen him or if he left keys. They said no. So anyway, I was like, wonder what happened. So I called called around and couldn't figure out what was going on. And I was like, wonder where my keys are. I got to get my keys. I was just concerned. And then I had this vague thought. I was only 18. And I thought, I wonder if, he did my car in the right place or this. I was worried, So I started doing some digging to find his number, and the personnel person gave me his number. So I called, and she said, the person who answered the phone said, oh, yeah, this is the residence of X person, I was like, okay. I says, well, did he come home this week? And she goes, yes. And I said, how did he get there? She said, his new car.
My God.
And this was in Cincinnati, Ohio. I said, new car? I says, what kind of car was it? And they said, a Sunbird. I said, what color? And they said, tan. And I had a tan Sunbird. Okay?
Oh, my God.
Yeah, so I'm like, that's my car. And it was the mother. Way. And the mother was like, I don't know what you're talking. I mean, of course, she's automatically got protective of her son. Like, what are you talking about? This is my son's car, and I don't like what you're saying.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, so I tell you what I'm going to do. I said, I'm going to call the police right now, and I'm going to have him arrested for, it was cross state lines, because from Virginia, of course, to Cincinnati, Ohio, would be a felony, would it not? Stealing a vehicle?
Right.
I think it would be a felony. So anyway, what happened was I got the raw end of the deal because they impounded, they went to him, or I don't know what they did to him, but of course he's in the Navy. They can't really do much because civilians, you can't do much to a Navy guy. So I guess they returned him back, and he probably got some slap on the wrist or something.
Probably, yeah.
My car got impounded. Yeah. So
I would have been mad.
Yeah. So and guess who has to pay the fees?
I'm guessing you did, didn't you?
I would have had to. So anyway, I couldn't get off the ship, and I couldn't get to that place. I mean, I was only making an X amount of dollars, and there's no way for me to get. So I called my family members and my dad, and it just so happens that my brother needed a vehicle.
Oh my God.
So basically, he got the vehicle. They went from North Carolina to Virginia, picked up the vehicle, paid the impound fee, and then he took over payments.
Oh, wow.
I didn't have a car anymore. So I don't know if there's a moral to the story or a lesson to the story, but that was true. It really happened.
Oh my God. I would have been pissed off. Like, if someone was to, like, impound my car, I would have been raising hell. I would have been blowing the roof off the place just to get the car back. I mean, I will do all kinds of things just to get it back.
Yeah, and keep in mind, I was financing this vehicle, so, you know, that's even worse.
Right.
I didn't lose what I had in it, plus the down payment. So my family member benefited off of it. But just, you know, who would think that you could just say, hey, could you move my vehicle and give somebody keys? And they drive your car across state lines. Who would even imagine
that's stupid. Like, and you wouldn't even find out until, like, someone actually tells you at last minute. Like, that would have been, like, a disaster.
Yeah, it would have. It was. I mean, it really was. And so anyway, that is what happened. And like I said, I do not know what, if any, punishment, you know, slap on the wrist, whatever. But I mean, I do know that you can't just take somebody's car across state lines without their permission. And I was young. I didn't know what to do. I didn't have the resources to pursue pressing charges and those kinds of things. And I think even back in the 70s and 80s, maybe the civilian police were a little more lenient on somebody who was in the military. I don't think that happens now at all. But
no, I think everything has changed so much. It's gotten to where, like, they're making it, I mean, I'm not trying to make this sound stupid, but they're making it to where everybody's kind of, like, making it easy for everybody by trying to make, I'm not trying to make it sound like they're lazy. It's kind of like slacking kind of a little bit. But it's like, let's just say, like, you were doing 90 on a 70, and then you see a cop car just standing there, and they're not doing their job, you know?
Right. Yeah,
it's kind of like that. But nowadays...
Go to Dallas, Texas sometime.
Oh, I've heard my sister's ex-boyfriend was a truck driver, and I think he sent my sister a text message one time. This was, like, years ago when my sister was married to him. She said that he sent her a text message of the speed limit. It was like either 80 or 85 something, like the speed limit was. And I was like, I didn't even know that. I didn't know that.
And that's like going around curves and...
Oh my God, I would have been... That's like a roller coaster. That's just a disaster waiting to happen.
It's the worst place I have ever been to drive.
No, see, I was born and raised in Atlanta, and I can tell you the traffic over there is just horrible. Like, you can't even get home without being stuck in traffic every day.
Yeah, I understand. I actually lived in Georgia for a little while. I'm living in Florida now, but I lived in Georgia up near a place called, well, you know where Helen is, right?
Yeah, I know where that is.
But I lived in a little town called East Denali, which is just off an exit right there, near the South Carolina border.
Okay.
I had a piece of land up there at one time. It was kind of nice. And so, anyway. But, yeah, man, that
might have been one crazy hell of a story.
Yeah,
you know, I would never expect that, like, especially your car being taken and driving to a different state. I would think I would just try to find out who took the car, and I would have raised hell on the phone. Like, I would.
So, moral of the story, don't give your friends keys.
No, they're going to take it for a joyride. It's the worst thing.
Even if you're drunk.
Right.
No, if you're drunk, you...
Oh, yes, if you're drunk, no. See, my sister learned her lesson. She got pulled over for a DUI.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she learned her lesson. She said she's never gonna do anything street dumb ever again. She's already mastered the street smarts now.
Another true story that was kind of ironic is that one night my son and his 3 friends were together, and I don't know why, but they weren't doing anything special, but it was a Friday, and I said, hey, let me get a photo of you guys. You never know if you're not going to be together again or whatever. Well, that particular night, one of those people in the photo, a friend, had gotten very, very drunk and put his car in sport mode.
Oh no!
Get somebody enrolled it, wound up in the hospital, was almost killed. Yeah, it was really
oh my
bad.
God.
And then had to go through, after he got out of the hospital, had to go through the DUI process, losing license, paying monetary fines and everything. It's just not worth it, you know.
Well, see, I've actually have something kind of similar, but it's not like we were drunk or anything. This was like years ago, like when me and my friends, we were like still teenagers. And me and my friends, we were just, just want to have a little good fun time. So we thought, why don't we just, because like we ended up in my buddy's truck. It was just 4 of us. And we ended up going mudding, which was really fun. And then the next day, we went in my buddy's truck again to go take it to like a car wash. Because they have some car washes where you just hand wash it yourself. Like some.
Oh, yeah.
And we thought it would have been just, just crazy if we were just shirtless. All 4 of us were shirtless. I mean, of course we had shorts on. But this is where it was kind of stupid. But what I'm going to tell you, you're probably going to think it's funny. So as me and my friends, we were washing my buddy's truck. And apparently the guy, we don't know who this guy was. But apparently we witnessed a car wreck. And we didn't know who started the car wreck. So the guy, he got so mad because he basically hit somebody, I think through a red light or whatever. And then he came up to us just raising hell, saying, you guys distracted me and now you're gonna have to pay for my car insurance and then. And I'm like, that's not our fault that you were looking at us while you were driving. I said, we're not paying for your stupid car insurance. I said, that's on you. I said, you're the one that was looking at us while we were shirtless. I said, don't make this sound stupid and blame it on us. I said, and then he was like, well, I'm going to go straight to the police. I said, call the police. We don't care. So, of course, the police showed up. And, and of course, like, he told the police that we were distracting him, even though we didn't distract anybody.
Right.
But we told the cops and said that we just said that we were just over here minding our business, washing the truck. That's what we were doing. And I said that the guy came over here and just accused us of crashing his car because he said he was looking at us. And the cops said it wasn't even our fault, which we knew that. We knew that it wasn't our fault. But the officer just let us go. We didn't have to like go to court or anything, which thank God we didn't have to. But apparently the guy got a ticket and, well, no, I take that back. He didn't get a ticket. I think he got arrested. Yeah. Because he was forcing us to pay for his car insurance, even though we weren't going to pay shit at all.
Of course not. No.
But I'm glad, but I thought it was kind of funny at the end, but when he started that car wreck, I was like, no. I was like, I just said, ignore it. Let him go to the police. It's not our problem.
Yeah, people will blame pretty much anybody.
It's like, yeah, for the stupidest thing, Yep.
But anyway, that was my story, so.
Hello? Anyway, I think I just lost him when we were just getting done. Now, I do like this guy, his story. He was actually talking about how his car was like, well, it was like well, I would say it was stolen, but it was more like it was actually in the impound is what I should say. But the thing is, never give anybody your car, because he was just so, I mean, I could see that how mad he would have been. Like, somebody, like, taking your car out for a joyride and they don't expect, other things. That's why you gotta be careful, because, in this world that we live in, you can't just trust anybody. So it's like, you can't just loan people anything and then you expect it not to get, your things back, So, you gotta be, careful. But this guy said when he was like 18 at the time, he didn't know what to do. I mean, hey, like, lesson learned. I hope the guy that actually took the guy's car probably got in trouble. So all I could say is, be careful what you're doing out there. So you can't just trust anybody. I know I enjoy listening to this guy's story about him being in the military, and, because I tried to join last year when I was working at Bass Pro Shop. And what happened was they said that they wouldn't accept me because, I had, even though I told you guys in my series, The Best of Travis, where I said that I actually had autism and that I also have to take pills, go to doctor's offices and, and stuff like that. Like, I have to, do all this. And then they said that they wouldn't accept me for, because I was going to doctor's offices and stuff. But they said if I drop, let's say, all the doctors, the medication and stuff like that, they said I will join the military. But like I said, like with me having autism, I have what you call like anger issues, bipolar, a lot of mixed emotions in me. All I can say is, I'm just upset that they didn't accept me. I know there were some people in my family. I think I've had 2 of my uncles that were in the military, and they're both dead. But I can't remember if there was another one in my family. I can't think, but if there is, there's probably more to the story, and I probably don't know, anything. But, I'm still learning about this whole family history. But, other than that, like I said, I tried to join, but they wouldn't accept me. If you guys actually do want to be on my podcast, please text 478-901-4445, just so you can actually chat with me on my podcast. But anyway, that's my show. Thank you guys so much for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed this, this podcast. I got more shows coming up every week, and I can't wait for you guys to actually hear them. Peace.